What's up, everyone? This is a MacBook Air A3114. It's an M3 version of the MacBook Air, which is a 16-inch or 15-inch. I don't know exactly what size it is, but anyways, it has liquid damage, and we're going to get it opened up with our 4PL screwdriver and get this thing diagnosed and figure out what is damaged inside, causing it not to turn on. This was my first look inside the computer. I've never worked on this computer before, so let's dive in and see what we find out inside. Grab your metal pry tool and pry at the top. And once you get the pry tool underneath, then you'll be able to work your way to the edge where you'll feel some tension and do a twist and you'll hear a pop. That means you're getting it off correctly. And it is a little bit discouraging because this part of the repair is probably the hardest part other than diagnosing where the liquid damage is and how to find liquid damage and get the laptop working. Let's hope it's not the logic board, but we'll find out as the repair goes along. Once you get the edges off, then you can grab from the bottom and slide it downwards towards the bottom of the laptop. Not like the bottom where the feet are, like the bottom as if you were pulling it and you're sliding it off the back. Ta-da! We got the back off. And now you can see where there is liquid damage up on the top left. But we're going to need to disconnect the battery right away before we start working on this thing. Wow, this thing really looks like that MacBook Air M2 inside. A little bit different, but it looks a lot alike. And there's this piece of tape that's not on the M2 covering over the battery connection. You'll grab out a T3 screwdriver and remove the two screws holding down the bracket over top of the battery connection. Then you can disconnect the battery once you get the bracket off. You just slide the bracket off downwards and then pull it up, and then you're able to disconnect the battery with a plastic spudger or your fingernail if you don't have a spudger laying around. Immediately, I found the liquid damage right here on the top left. It's funny I said right here on the top left. Anyways, I want to tell you the story about this customer's computer. And they said they borrowed their computer to a friend, and this happened to it. Maybe I'll be able to fix it. I don't know at this point if it's going to be repairable, because if the logic board is broken, all the parts are paired to the motherboard, basically. Not all of them, but the main ones, like your screen. If you replace the logic board, then you're going to have like a screen artifact because the screen isn't programmed to the logic board, which is not okay, Apple. This isn't okay. That isn't okay for the right to repair movement. It's not. Like, I don't know. Most of the time when it's liquid damage and the logic board is damaged, it means it's just game over for that laptop. There's no repairing it. And it's really unfortunate because liquid damage could easily happen to anyone. And it did to this guy. So we're immediately going to address the liquid damage area of the computer. It is a loudspeaker that looks like is affected, and it could be the logic board. We'll take a look at all the connections around the board and just make sure it's not on any of the other connections all across the computer, and then blow some air on it to make sure there isn't any standing liquid that we just can't see somewhere. And we'll get into that later in the video. Interesting fact, there's a T6 screw that holds down the loudspeaker on the bottom left and the bottom right loudspeaker, and then there is T5 screws on the top that you'll have to remove, and there's one sneaky one underneath the hinge cover, so you'll have to remove the hinge cover too to take out the loudspeakers, and you'll grab out plastic spudger, and you'll be able to disconnect all the connections. And we are just checking out the connections. It's really neat how the screen is connected. This bracket here, I'm not quite sure for a screen replacement how that's going to look at all, if you're going to have to mess with the pesky bracket that is on the MacBook Air M2. And if you've done repairs already yourself, and have done the M2, like a screen replacement with an aftermarket part, you would know. You would know how difficult it is to take off that bracket. All right, so we'll get these T3 screws over the hinge covers removed, so then we can get the loudspeakers fully out. As we examine this MacBook Air M3 A3114 for liquid damage to see if the logic board is shot or not, or if we're gonna be able to repair it. And I think we're going to, just looking at all the connections here and just thinking about it. You'll probably have to remove the Wi-Fi antenna and the loudspeakers to do a screen replacement. So you'll want to make sure you have a T6 screwdriver around. That's kind of new for these repairs. And it looks like the liquid is just on this loudspeaker, but we'll find out as the repair goes along. Well, I think it's going to turn on without the loudspeaker and the Wi-Fi antenna on. We'll connect this connection here. I'm not quite sure what it does. And we'll plug it in and connect the battery on and get it plugged in. So we'll see if it turns on. It shows us that nice, shiny Apple logo. All right, it booted up into recovery mode, and I had to get his MacBook password and set that all up, and I was able to get logged in, and I'm just going to blur out the rest from here because that's my customer's privacy. We'll get this thing cleaned up, use some screen cleaner. The screen is a bit sticky, and so is the keyboard. So we're going to have to use some alcohol. An electric toothbrush is what I use to try to clean out all the keys from the top side, and make sure the battery is disconnected when you do this. And I just want to let you know, I want it to look as brand new as possible because I think we're going to be able to fix it, you guys. I think we'll be able to fix it. We'll find out here at the end of the video. After I put all that work into trying to clean up the keyboard yet is still a little bit sticky, but it does feel like it might still work, and it might be passable for that it will work, but I just hope that he doesn't have to pay an arm and a leg for a top case keyboard replacement, which is going to be $525 if you want to send in your repair and you have a sticky keyboard or something wrong with your keyboard. It's $525, but right now it's July 6th, 2025. So you could be watching this years later and the prices came down. So just email me, mark@worthitrepairs.com, and we'll find out. So I put back together the whole laptop hoping that it would work, and it was just a light little bit of damage to the loudspeaker there, and it is not turning on anymore. And I'm not quite sure what to do now, but let's take it back apart and take out that loudspeaker that does have the liquid damage on it. After I disconnected a few different connections, such as the loudspeaker, to see if it turned on, it still did not turn on. So I had to keep working on it and disconnecting connections that I had disconnected previously to see if I could fix it. And I found out that this connection here that's connected to the auxiliary port and the sleep-wake sensor was the part that was damaged. And we'll take a closer look at that in just a second. As we remove this part, I wanted to remind you to please like and subscribe. Check out my videos. I have a bunch of videos on how to repair stuff and also some fun stories. Now we'll take a closer look at this part that's causing the laptop to not turn on. It looks like it's the auxiliary port and the sleep-wake sensor. So I'm not quite sure if the sleep-wake sensor will work if you replace the auxiliary port, because it actually has one of those nice shiny QR codes on the connection, and normally that means the part is paired to the motherboard in some way. So I'm not sure if the sleep-wake won't work if we replace this, but the customer just wanted me to disconnect the part and pick up his laptop working while he just won't have sleep and wake sensor, and then he won't have his auxiliary port. So I take it out and we get a closer look at it. But in the end of the repair, he said that he wanted to maybe do the top case keyboard replacement in the future. And that sounds good to me because there will be another video on how to do the repair. So please, thank you again for watching my video and like and subscribe for more awesome tech content. Wow, that is awesome. I was able to get it working. Worth it.
It's your tech with